Hello, everyone. I am Claudiu Murgan, the host of the Spiritual Inspire podcast. Welcome back to a new episode. A kind reminder that you can find the latest episode on Gnostic TV and all the clips on YouTube. My guests today are Jay Mata of Gnostic TV and Jason Bimji, conscious entrepreneur. Gentlemen, thank you for accepting my invitation.
Thank you, Claudia.
Our
Uh,
pleasure.
Jason, you are here for the third time. Previous two times with your wife April, and today we are going to talk about spirituality, but also about how we can protect ourselves in while living in 3D. And we're going to touch on subjects that people might be interested. They are very real as a threat to our daily existence. But I would like to start with Jason and ask him to introduce himself.
Perfect. Yes, my name is Jason Bimji. I'm a serial entrepreneur out here in the Southwest Florida marketplace. I appreciate big time for having us on your show. I know we were talking briefly earlier. My father's a shaman, so I'm all about the spirituality, and I'm just it's an absolute blessing to be here. But so I own 11 companies right now currently, and me and Jay and myself just partnered up on the biggest project I've ever been working on in my life, to be quite honest. I got introduced to this service and this company about a year ago, and it was actually on accident and from necessity, because about a year and a month ago, my kid's mom actually passed away. And unfortunately, when she passed away, she didn't have her affairs set up, and she didn't have her wills in place and estate planning and all, and it's been a mess. But the worst part about it has been I've been taking care of our daughter. We have an 8-year-old and a 13-year-old, and I've been taking care of our daughter since she's 3. I'm not her biological father, but I'm her dad. I've been taking care of her since she's 3. I've taught her how to tie her shoes, how to ride her bike, and when her mom passed away and not having a will, now I'm fighting for my own daughter from her grandparents up in New York because of a piece of paper. So, when I heard about this services that this company offers, I was all in, and I've even put some of my other businesses on the side just so I can help go out there and protect families and businesses so they don't have to be in the same mess that me and my family are in right now.
Yes, interesting. And we don't necessarily want to bash the government and the legal system, but we know they are not on our side. And what you guys are doing help us, we the people, in fact, get some level of protection and be sure that we are not getting screwed.
Well, what's sad with that too is, I went to court with massive amounts of paperwork, documents, pictures, from birthdays from when she's 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, all these things. And they said, sorry, you're not any blood relation, so we really can't do anything. It's like, what? The kid is telling you she wants to be here with us. So yeah, it's crazy because even, I'm 38 years old, and, with building all my other businesses, I was very commission driven. I was super, super commission driven. I wanted to build a massive empire so I could have a great moat around my family financially. And now I've changed my whole demeanor. I've changed my whole vibe. It's all mission driven now. I only care about helping protect individuals, families, and businesses, because this has been some of the worst times in our lives. To have your kids crying over a Zoom saying goodnight to each other and not really understanding why they can't be together is terrible.
Yes, and Jay, I think this is part of your 5D economy component that you are also building to help others.
Yeah, 100% is, because you take a look at it. I mean, and he talked about it earlier, for those that are interested, look, like Jason, we're all conscious entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm co-founder of a very progressive network called Gnostic TV, and that's my day job. But you have to, at some point in time, you have to realize what's happening here. And people are with our 5D economy, we're very big proponents about using the multidimensional way to be able to attract wealth in their lives. And we're seeing that play out for a lot of conscious entrepreneurs, for a lot of spiritual beings that are starting to learn how to manifest. They're starting to bring these things. They get excited, they get this money, they get these new projects, they get these new businesses. and then they don't know what to do to protect them, right? So there's different layers on these things. So this is very critical. So like Jason, who owns this business, like myself and other people who have other businesses, this is really it's like you have a responsibility, Claudio, to really be able to say, look, you're gaining this wealth. You're getting these things for you and your family. Your dreams are now coming true. You should look to protect this stuff right now. The reality is we live in a third dimensional construct. Okay. So, whatever one's faith is or belief system that feel like, well, the angels will protect me or the fairies will protect me or whatever your belief is. I don't know. That's up to you. But at the end of the day, we are bound. We can touch and feel ourselves. We're bound by the laws of this particular world we live in. And speaking to, about the legal system, no, nobody's here to bash the legal system, but let's face it, the real color of justice is green, right? So, you have to either have enough money to be able to protect yourself and interest, make sure you're structured right, or have resources to do that. So, meeting Jason and talking with Jason about and really having some long thought out conversations about, making an impact and really helping soul brothers and sisters out there is to be able to give them access to and I don't even like the word use affordable because I don't want to diminish the value of it, because it's just because it's affordable does not diminish the value and the quality of the service that these people are getting. And Jason could talk more about that, but really giving the everyday person access to a system that normally would not be available to them. And Claudia, even more so right now, everybody's hearing about the identity theft crisis that's happening. And we, unfortunately, a lot of us will not know about it until till it's pretty much too late. And then what do you do? Like, who even knows where to go? Like, let's say your identity's stolen. I mean, if your identity's stolen and it's theft and you did this, you manifested all this wealth in your life, who knows what to even do from there? I wouldn't know what to do. Like, who do you pick up a phone and call, and like, who's the right person to direct you? I mean, it just gets so overwhelming. And now I'm saying is like, when you're in this world, everybody, that's the last thing you need to do. When you just focus it on creating your wealth, creating abundance, making sure, like Jason said, you create the moat around your family, and then just get in place the right people. It's just proper planning. It's just good, not only business, it's good personal discipline to have in this lifetime, and this third dimensional construct we live in.
Yes, because what the legal system is lacking is the empathy. As Jason mentioned, the judge didn't care about his daughter crying, saying, "I want to stay with daddy and my sibling," and they just look at some facts and paperwork, and if the signature is not there, then they will try to make their life easier, not think empathically, and just act on what the law says. That's the sad part of it.
It is.
Yeah, and that's it. So there are solutions, and like I said, I got the opportunity to meet with Jason, Claudio, to really break down what those are, and it makes sense. And maybe Jason, you could talk a bit about what's available, what everybody now has access to. You know what I mean? Those kind of things.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when I was introduced to this service, I seen it for two different aspects. Because being a serial entrepreneur, I was spending around $25,000 every quarter to every other quarter to have my lawyers review contracts, documents in and out of state, going over employee handbooks and trademarks and copyrights and all types of different things that I was getting done. And then I seen the service for $100 a month. I have a lawyer on retainer to be able to do all those things. I was mind blown that a service was even available for our business like that. So I actually was able to register all my businesses and get rid of a $20,000 overhead, immediately, which was really empowering. But what most people don't realize is that every wealthy person on this planet has a lawyer on retainer, for their business, for their assets, for their kids, for everything. So we have the same access to be able to offer people. Our company was founded 52 years ago. This isn't just a company we started last week. This is a 52-year-old company. And actually, I'll give you a little background on how the company was even started. The CEO, the owner of the company, he was actually involved in a head-on car crash where a lady veered into his lane back in the 60s. And this gentleman was actually an insurance agent and a teacher, right? So he wasn't like rich. He didn't have massive amounts of money. So what happened was when he got in this car wreck, he was actually in a coma. And when he came out of the coma a couple weeks later, he found out that the lady that veered into his lane and hit him head on traffic, or hit head on, is suing him. So he actually had to take all his money from his savings, and make sure that that he understood that he was innocent. So he spent $6,500 back in the 60s and realized that the system was broken. He understood that he had car insurance for when they got in an accident to fix his insurance, to fix his car. He knew they had health insurance. They knew they had home insurance. They knew they had all these different insurances, but they didn't have a lawyer insurance to be able to protect the average people. So that's where this company was born. And now what happened is we actually have 3 different services for individuals and families to be able to fit any budget. So from $30 to $50 a month, you have a lawyer on retainer. And now you're going to have people to actually unlimited consultations, unlimited, which is crazy because I know when I was talking to my lawyers, anytime I would call them, anytime I would text them, email them, they would be taking money out of the retainer every single time. Here, you literally do not get charged a dime for unlimited consultations. They're going to do your wills, estate planning, power of attorney. You can get a trust done with one of our memberships for only $250. So just those 5 things, this is saving people thousands and thousands of dollars for this $1 to $1.50 a membership a day. Then I know Jay was talking about the almost 3 billion social securities that got hacked the other day. We have the most comprehensive identity protection out there. With our membership, for $20 for an individual or $35 to protect the whole family, you can have identity protection to where if you were to get hacked, you're covered up to $3 million. And if you get hacked, our company is going to put a licensed private investigator on your account in your state at no additional cost. So if it takes, say, 100 hours, 300 hours, 500 hours to fix your credit, to fix your account, to get it back to pre-hack status, it doesn't cost you a penny. So we don't just watch your credit and watch your social security. We actually restore it as well. So it's a very powerful service. And, with the average memberships that we're selling with the lawyer service and identity protection together, it's averaging the consumer about $65 to $75 a month to be able to have a lawyer on retainer and identity. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's amazing. But my question, let's say devil's advocate, we know, and you mentioned that the lawyers are charging an arm and a leg these days, $250 an hour and up. So people might wonder, what is the quality of service of the lawyers serving those who register for this program?
That's a great question, because that's mainly what people are like, well, what kind of lawyer am I getting for $30 or $40 a month? And I always just say, hey, what kind of doctor are you getting with your healthcare copay, for your $30, $40 copay? It's the same thing. Those doctors went to med school. Our lawyers, though, this is the crazy part. We're not just hiring kids out of college and just getting their bar. We are actually, in order to be a lawyer with Legal Shield, you actually have to be in service and have your bar license in your state for over 25 years with no disciplinary actions, which is crazy. So I know, I own 11 different businesses, and I know I've had multiple bad reviews. Imagine me getting barred from the restaurant industry because I had one disciplinary action. So with that being said, our lawyers are so for instance, for Florida, we have DSK law from Orlando to Tallahassee all the way up. And then from Orlando down to Key West, we have Glance law. Now with Glance law, we have 67 attorneys that are strictly for Legal Shield members. And then we have about 100 plus paralegals. So our lawyers are actually dedicated for our members because Legal Shield pays their law firm anywhere from $250,000 to $1.5 million a month, just depending on how many members they're servicing.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's like that. It's like think about that. I mean, we as the members become the law firm's biggest client, right? Because they're getting paid per member per month. So that's a lot of money that's coming into a firm. That's how they're able to track that.
They use it by doing a collective buying power. We have almost 5 million members across the United States and Canada right now. So we have a collective buying power. Not everybody's going to need to use the services at one time, so they understand that.
Okay, perfect. Gentlemen, I don't want to, turn our discussion all legally and about protecting ourselves. Let's switch a little bit towards our spiritual practice, our spiritual thoughts, and then we'll come towards the end to discuss more and provide details to the audience on how they can register for this service, if you agree with this approach.
Love it.
Love it, dude. We're gonna follow you.
So Jason, you mentioned that your father is originally from Uganda. Have you had the chance to visit back and immerse yourself into the spiritual practice of the land?
So I have not been to Uganda yet, but I will be there very soon. Me and my brothers are actually planning a trip. But I was in Morocco 3 weeks ago, so I was able to go to the motherlands, and I've been traveled all around the world. But yeah, I'm very excited to get back there and see where he grew up, and see some all the amazing places over there.
And through your traveling, it was any particular place that had a very deep impact on yourself and how and changed you?
Yes, Dubai, because the people are so kind over there. The food is so fresh. And I know, like, over here, our government might not be giving us the best food. They might be pumping stuff in there. Maybe a conversation for a different time. I just love how people are so peaceful and just they mind their own business. They don't bother you. They're kind. They're actually kind. They're not faking it. And it was just I just feel like everybody lives with love over there. And even on the TVs over here, you see Dubai as like this terrible place, but man, it's the best place on earth. And it changed me 100%. It just made me like calmer and happier, and just it just made me want to live life like they live.
Yes, it's a place where the law is enforced for sure.
Yes.
And on the good side, I mean, people don't litter, people don't steal, everyone respect each other.
I love that.
Yes. Jay, since we last talked, anything important or life-changing happen in your life from a spiritual perspective?
Every day, it's interesting. I just was on. I woke up this morning, and I love this. And this is the kind of beautiful stuff. I just makes it so much fun to be here in this planet, because I had a great astral travel. I've been astral traveling a lot. A lot of out of body experiences. And so that's not necessarily so unique in and of itself. I know a lot of people talk about that, but what for me is happening is I'm actually traveling with my dog. So he comes and lays down next to me, and we travel together. We're in the place together. So that's been just that's like another layer of everything that I'm getting to experience. And so it's just seeing that, feeling that, it just makes you so, just glad, so gracious to be alive, or in this consciousness, if you would, and understand what's possible out there. And then getting to those places. So now he's not only my earthly guide, but he's also my spiritual guide in there, and helps protect me as I'm in these other realms. And that's just an amazing thing. So that's been pretty cool recently, what's happening for me at that spiritual level. Try to beat that one. What I say.
Beautiful. No, beautiful. Amazing. Yeah, every day is, we have to be grateful for every single day we live on this earth, and ask for new opportunities, spiritually at least, to open for us. And we'll get there. One way or another, we'll get there if we have the desire and we put the work towards it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think if we can just really learn to really just understand that, my belief system is that we're all very interconnected, and which if we really align ourselves with that, then we look to support each other and not so much judge each other of things like that, because then we're all just having this, this consciousness in it of itself. Maybe we're a projection of consciousness, and it just seems to have this experience, and the experience shows is us in different capacities and different facilities. So learning to really, and that's ever evolving, you know what I mean? It's an ever evolving everyday discipline to start to think like that, because as we know, as a third dimensional it's very easy to be critical of people. It's very easy to be, reactive and things like that. But I think if for me, learning to look at it before I react and take a step back and understand it from that perspective, I notice that manifestation comes faster in my life also, because now I'm no longer resisting or questioning my universe. You know what I mean? I'm flowing with the universe and taking direction and understanding, well, why is this person in my life? Yeah, they may have aggravated me, but why are they in my life? You know what I mean? And understanding those components of it more. The direct impact of it is not just saying, well, that's what I'm supposed to do because it's the nice thing to do, but the direct impact that I can quantify, my manifestations appear faster because of that. Because it for me, it's a feeling of being more one closeness with the source.
Yeah, that's a very wise approach for sure. Jason, if you would have the opportunity to offer humanity a gift other than what you are offering right now, what would that gift be?
Man, wow. What a question. I think to awaken people and their senses of the law of attraction, that whether what you're thinking subconsciously matters just as much as what you're speaking, and your words are thoughts, so they are reality. I think that would be my biggest gift, is to awaken people up so they can actually understand that they don't have to just be in this rat race. They can actually do whatever they want to do as long as they put the action necessary behind it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And Jay, I see that you nod your head. Anything else to add to that question, to that answer, sorry?
Look, we're in here for the ride. Look, one thing we can all agree on is that we all have a finish line, right? And we're all going to complete that race in some way. Where we go from that race is really, we don't know. Nobody really ultimately knows. But what I think is the best practices is if those who believe it can live life to the fullest. No regrets. I don't believe we're here just to be able to just go through the motions, go to work, go to their clock out, clock in, and that's it, and eat, and good night, honey, I'll see you in the morning, and that. I believe we're here to explore. I think if we start to take on a exploration mindset, if you would, exploring lives, exploring personalities, exploring ways to prosper, really change our relationship with monies, because I know a lot of spiritual people have a hard time with that. It is really change the relationship with money and realize that money is a very good things, because a lot of spiritual people want to do good things with money, but yet they don't want to necessarily be like, well, I kind of a little bit, the relationship with money is not connected. Listen, you can't give from an empty cup. Let's be real about it. You have to. So go out there if you want to do good things in the world. The tool that has been given to us. So if you say I want to change the world, well, your pragmatic tool is, well, make money then. That's how you change the world, because it's what funds the fuel. It's what's given to us. I don't make the rules. I just learn how to work with them. That's all I'm doing. So I would say, listen, everybody, just really look at life as a video game. Understand that don't take it so seriously. We all have had things in our lives that we wish we could take back, but they're done now. So get rid of the guilt, move forward, learn from it, and just enjoy your experience in life, and you'll learn to attract more in your life. That's what I say.
Yes, very true. Thank you very much. And now going back to what we discussed earlier, what will be a next step for someone who is interested to join Legal Shield?
So I would say, there's going to be contact information below. So for those, I don't even want to say interested. Don't be interested. Look into it. Seriously, look into it. Seriously, just really seriously look into it. Because if you don't have it right now, you're going to want to have it. We just live in that world. There'll be a number there and an email, and just text or communicate that email. We'll send you information. Let us know what you're looking for. Are you looking for it for yourself personally? Is it for your business? Both? Is it for family? Is it for your employees? Maybe as an employee benefit? Let us know what you want, because there's a lot available to you, more than you could possibly imagine. So we can make sure we send you the right information to look into. And then what we can do is we can have, we'll set up a complimentary call with you just to figure out what it is your needs are. I think that's going to be the best approach. You know what I mean? Is really looking at it that way. And so people can tell us what they want, but definitely do reach out. Protect your wealth, protect your family, protect yourself identity wise. And it's you got to do it. I mean, you'll be at one, whether you do it now or whether you do it later. The trends are showing us right now. Now is the time that we need to protect ourselves. That's why Jason and I, as already business people who already have day jobs, if you would, are out here talking about it. It's just that important.
Yes, and to me, Jason mentioned a keyword there, trust. And for
Yeah.
those who don't understand, could be a private trust where people can park their assets. And I personally plan to do that because I know that's one way to have the government keep its hands off what I own. So I think it's the same for everyone else. They should look into it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the thing is too is most I think that the reason why most don't have it is because when they look into it, it's super expensive. And then they say, you know what, maybe we'll go on vacation and we'll do it next year. Nothing's going to happen to me. But the fact is, accidents happen every day. People die every day. You know, people are taken from their loved ones every single day. And the fact that nobody wants to be dealing with a death or a loss and then have to be dealing with trying to get all your stuff from probate from the government or trying to have to deal with bank accounts and trying to deal with all the assets that loved one left over, you know. So to be able to really just focus on having to deal with the death and actually really do it internally instead of having to deal with all these other stresses, and to be able to do it for a couple dollars a day, it's almost silly to not do it, you know, where we just have to educate people to where they understand that lawyers are not here just to be able to protect you when you're in trouble. You know, we are here to be able to protect you in your worst days and your family in their worst days. You know, I think my favorite feature on this plan is there's a 24/7 emergency line. We all have kids, grandkids that are about to start driving or maybe hanging around with teenagers that might not be doing the right things. I think the 24/7 emergency line is so important because if there's ever a time where our kids are not with us and they feel like um, they're not getting the proper respect from authority, or they're getting pulled over and they're not getting respected because they're kids, we can touch a button on our app, and within 90 seconds a lawyer will be on the phone to be able to be there with our children when we're not there to protect them. So I know most of my friends that have these memberships, because when you buy the membership, it's not just for you. You don't have to buy it for you, your wife, your kids. It's all included with the one price. So you can have your kids download this app and have the same services as well. And that's just the best peace of mind ever.
that's
Yeah.
incredible. Well, if I can add one last thing, Claudia, you and I are in the similar business of interviewing conscious people, conscious leaders, conscious people that have courses and books and channels and do sessions and things of that nature. And you know, the reality is this: is that the more your visibility is out there, the more your business grows, the more reality is you're a target.
Yes.
That's just the reality of life. Okay, that we live in. So just, you know, it's just good business. So thank you, brother, for having us in your world. We appreciate it.
Thank
Jay,
you.
what is the average retainer? I would say it's about $5,000, right? Would you say that's probably accurate?
Oh my gosh, yeah, depending on what it is. It's yeah, absolutely. I mean, and if you want it, like I remember I just even called for a business matter and would have been like just to write a letter, if you would. I mean, they wanted a $2,500 retainer just to even have on file. You know what I mean? And bill against that. That's just what people are doing. I mean, that's that world, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
so with our service, say even at the max service at $50 for with the trust and the wills, it's everything included. And then even with the family plan, that's $85 a month. So that would pay 90 months of our service for one shot of a retainer that a lawyer would be charging
Yeah.
anyway. So 90 months of protection for what a lawyer would charge you just to sit and talk about what's going on.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
And in fact, you mentioned that the service is available in both the US and Canada.
Yes.
Right.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is
Yeah.
fantastic stuff. So much love.
Jason, I would like to continue for 2 more minutes if possible. And Jason, I'd
Yes.
like to ask you, what's your perception of God?
Man, you asked some really great questions. I think the universe, so everybody has a different name for who they worship or who they speak to. I feel that God is the universe. and that I was saying this the other day, that a lot of times when bad stuff happens to you, you're questioning it. You don't know why it's happening. But the other day, I was really thinking about everything, and everything that's happened in my life has led me up to this moment right here. All the bad stuff, all the good stuff, everything that I've learned, everything that I've had to go through. So I feel like God and the universe is very real. And I don't really know if this is the proper answer, but I definitely know personally that I am grateful, and I'm very conscious that I know that I wouldn't have anything without the universal power and the law of attraction and the energy that's focusing me to get me to the finish line, as you would say, Jay.
That's nice. That's nice.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being on this show today, for being so open to everything you do and share with us this amazing opportunity. Much love.
Much love. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to my viewers, thank you for watching. Check latest episodes on Gnostic TV. And until next time, love and gratitude.